everybody. Hello. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Hi. Hello. All right, it is Wednesday. Woohoo! I'm excited to be with all of you for today's training. It's always fun to be with all of you. I love seeing all your faces. So welcome. I want to give us a minute or two to get started, but I want to just check in. Feel free. If you join me, just say hi. Let me know that you're here. I love seeing my tribe in here. I love seeing new faces. It's so fun to see you. And today we're going to be talking about some fun stuff about, if you've been taking yourself out of the game, we got to stop it. We got to stop this business of telling yourself that you're not okay or that this is hard. So we're going to really dive into that today and really start looking at, what are you saying to yourself? How are you taking yourself out of the game? And just have you start regaining some confidence and getting some weight loss results. Hi, Miss Barbara. Hi, Katie. So happy to see you. So awesome. I love that we got some people in the house here who've lost over 100 pounds. Woo-hoo! An inspiration to all of us. So excited. So happy to have all of you. So let's jump in. I like to always give us a minute or two because I know sometimes for my feed to go live, it takes a minute or so for you all to see it. But I love that I see so many of your faces here. So let's jump in. All right, so today I want to talk about what you do to talk yourself out of having the body that you want. How you talk yourself out of your dreams for your body. I'm seeing this here and there, and I really want to stop it. I really want you all to stop it. It can be very easy to tell yourself that it's hard. I don't know how many of you are doing that. How many of you are saying to yourself that it's hard to lose weight? But here's what I know. I know that you can tell yourself as a mom, it's hard to lose weight because I have kids. You can tell yourself as an older person, it's hard because I'm getting older. You can tell yourself every excuse in the book. Here's some that I just have heard recently. It's harder because I'm a mom and I have kids at home all the time and they eat snacks. You say I'm older than 60 and it's just hard. I'm married and so it's hard because I have a whole family that I have to prepare for. I'm single and so it's hard because I'm just left alone with my thoughts. It's hard because my genetics, I'm just genetically predisposed to be heavier. I travel a lot, so it's harder. I stay in and I work from home, so it's harder. So you can see, no matter where we're at, it can be hard. Okay. So Sarah, yeah, you say that it's hard. I'm so happy. Yes, Katie, it's going to be the last time you lose 100 pounds. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, particularly as you get older, you might say it's hard. And if you're saying that, Janie, if you're saying that, Sarah, if you're saying that, then what's happening inside of your head? You're blocking it. It's like it's hard. And it's this big block inside your mind that you can't move on. And so I really want to knock that out of you because it's only making your weight loss harder. It's only making it more difficult for you to step into your power every single day by saying things like, it's hard. Why does it have to be hard? Why can't you look at what you can do and realistically, look at your life, okay? What are you willing to do? Here's the question I want all of you writing down. What are you willing to do to make weight loss easier? I want all of you writing that down. What are you willing to do to make weight loss easier? It doesn't have to be hard. Stop telling yourself that weight loss is hard, that it's hard to be you. Listen, it's hard to be me. It's hard to be you, right? We can go there. What's the point? It's only keeping you from having, it's keeping your dreams like out in front of you, right out here. It's keeping them out here. This is where you are now. This is where you want to go. You're keeping, this is the journey, okay, of your arm. For those of you on the phone, sorry, I have my hand stretched out. So this is the journey to get to where you want to be. Your shoulder is where you're starting. Your hand is that desired weight you want to be. If you bring your hand into your shoulder, you make it easier. Why are we making it so hard by keep telling ourselves it's hard, it's difficult, I can't do it? So when you start asking yourself the question, how can I make this easier for myself today? What am I willing to do? When you feel forced upon, I used to feel so forced upon with diets. I used to feel like, oh, this diet's telling me I have to do it. And just that have to inside my head just made me rebel like a mad woman. But then when I started to be gentler with my thinking, gentler with my thoughts, gentler with how I spoke to myself, then all of a sudden it was so cool because I could say, oh, what am I willing to do to move my body to where I want it to be? What am I willing to do? And it was things like, I'm willing to leave 2 bites on my plate for lunch today. I'm willing to leave 2 bites of my food for dinner. I'm willing to check in and just do a pause during my meal to see if I'm still hungry. I'm willing to add 1 vegetable to my to dinner or lunch. I'm willing to go for a 15-minute walk. See, when you start the conversation of it being hard, you push yourself out from the possibility of it being easy or it being manageable, it being doable. And it's like a big stop sign for your face. It's a big stop sign for your actions. It's a big stop sign for getting the body you want to have. So stop it. And start moving into the possibility of who you can become and make it easier by asking the better questions, by asking more appropriate, loving, supportive questions of yourself. Because this is not working the hard. And I hear it a lot. You all just said, yep, you say it's hard. What if, Sarah, you could transform that and say, how can I make this easier today? How can I make this fun? How can I make it inevitable? I talk a lot about the questions you ask yourself. I talk a lot about what you can say to yourself to make things better for you. Hi, Allison. Hi, Laura. I'm so happy you're here. Hi, Karen S. Hi, Janie. Happy to see all of your cute faces. It's nice to see all of you. Let me pop in on the phone here. Hi, Monica. Hi, Kay. Happy to have you. Hi, Janine. Hi, Geneva. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Betty. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to see all of you. So I do want you to think about how you are still standing in the way of you losing weight. How are you standing in the way? If you're my tribe members, you're like, I'm not. I got this. Awesome. If you're new to me, or if you're still standing in the way of you getting weight loss results, I want you to look now inside yourself and look at what are the thoughts you say repeatedly to yourself. Usually they're in some sort of form of, I'm broken, it's hard, there's something wrong with me. Those are the 3 big camps. Hi, Lana. Happy to see you. These are the big camps that I see. Hi, Miss Tam. Stop making it harder. Now, here's the thing I want you to do. Imagine that you're at your ideal weight, okay? Imagine in the future you get there. You're there. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about what's happened in your history. I don't care about that. I care about right now, and I care about where you want to go. You want to lose 30 pounds. You want to be 150 pounds, 140 pounds, whatever you want to be, okay? 160 pounds, 200 pounds. I don't care. Now, if you run your life from your future self, you will get very different results. I love this. I love saying to myself, okay, what would my 135 pound self say? what would my 135-pound self do? What would, right? I look at myself, or I'm sitting there at night and I'm watching TV with my husband and he's sitting there eating chips next to me. And I'm like, last night I go, okay, what would my 135-pound self do? Just let him enjoy the hell out of those chips. Doesn't have to mean anything about me. I don't have to do anything about it. Okay? See, from that vantage point, when I can imagine, and some of you said, I can't imagine it. Can you feel it? Can you pretend that you're that person? You don't have to know for sure. I don't know if my 135-pound self for sure would say this, that, or the other. But I like to pretend. And the more I pretend, the more I get to that person. Yeah. So these thoughts that if you can start moving from the negative to thinking, okay, what would my ideal self, Lana, say if I have no time? What would it say if it says, oh, it's never happened before, so why would it happen again? Okay, that's not what your thin self was saying. How many of you have had the experience where you really, really, really wanted something and you just kept falling off the wagon, or it just was hard to get there? Maybe graduate school, maybe it was undergrad, maybe it was to get go through some sort of schooling or education, or to be a parent, or any of those things. You just keep going. You don't go, oh, failed that class, or oh, I got that one answer wrong. You just keep going. If you are thinking to yourself, you don't have time, or it's hard, or it's difficult, it's time to change the conversation in your head. How is that ever going to support you? You don't have to have time to lose weight. You don't have to have time to lose weight. Most of your thoughts are not accurate. It doesn't have to be hard to lose weight. It has to be a focus. It has to be something you keep living into. It has to be something that you want. And then you have to keep recommitting to it. But that recommitment, saying, okay, starting my day out going, okay, what am I willing to do today? That doesn't have to be hard. When you're driving to work, okay, what am I willing to do today? That doesn't have to be hard. When you're sitting on the toilet, you could be asking yourself, like, you can find the time if it's something you want badly enough. If I said to each and every one of you, I'm going to give you $5 million, and I'm going to give it to you at the end of December 31st. If you get down 20, 30 pounds, let's make it realistic. Let's make it doable. You think you would find the time? You think you'd work at it? You think you'd make it happen? I think you would. I think you would. It's all about making it important, making it in your mind, making it present, making it alive inside of you to make it happen. So when you tell yourself it's hard, when you say this is hard, I can't do it. Every time you tell yourself this is hard or I can't do it, you're just like putting a stop sign in front of your face of action, of results, of moving your body to where you want it to go. Stop it. Stop not allowing yourself to have the dreams that you want to have. You say you want to lose weight. You say you want to have a vibrant health and a vibrant body. Then let's make it happen. And it can take its time. Who cares if it takes a year or 2 years, 3 years? Who cares? If you're moving your body in the direction it wants to go in, if you feel alive, if you feel beautiful, if you're telling yourself every single day, how can I move my body to a lighter, leaner, healthier place today? How can I make it easy? How can I make it fun? What's something realistic that I can do today? Like, that's the thing. Some of you are putting so many restrictions on yourself that no wonder why you want to bust through and explode. You're saying, I have to do this and I have to do this and I got to do this. You're making it impossible for you to lose weight and keep it off. Hi, Miss Chrissy. Happy to see you. Like, you're making it too hard on yourself. And we've got to make this realistic. Listen, weight loss can be realistic. It can be realistic to check into your body, to leave a bite on your plate, to put your fork or food down between bites at meals. That's all realistic. What happens is when you go, whoa, I've got 5,000 things I need to do to make this happen. And all of a sudden you stall out. And you freeze and you don't do anything. And then you're like, screw it. There's too many. I'm too overwhelmed. There's too many to-dos. So if each morning you pick one or two things, that's it, that you're focusing on until you master it. That's why I call it weight loss mastery, my programs, right? Until you master that one thing, then you move to the next. Then move to the next, then move to the next. But a confused mind does nothing but freeze you out. And freeze, when I say freeze, not free, I mean freeze, like stalls you out. Don't make it hard. Don't give yourself 15 things that you need to do for your health and your body. Give yourself one or two for the day. That's it. That's it. If you woke up every single morning, and you're like, how can I make this easy on me? I'm going to give myself one or two things to make weight loss realistic and easy for me today. And you did it. By December, you'd have that $5 million. Don't overcomplicate this. Don't make your brain, our brains are just crazy, huh? Our brains just nutso. Like, the work to lose weight actually isn't that hard. It's that your brain says things like, Allison, I won't be enough to make it happen. It won't be enough. And so guess what? But that won't be enough, Allison. What it does is it keeps it from happening. It's like if you want to learn to ride your bike and you're like, but I'm just going to try for 3 minutes. And you're like, but that's not going to be enough, so I'm not even going to do it. But actually 3 minutes would give you at least you're sitting your tush on the bike, you getting comfy with it, and then tomorrow you try 3 more minutes, and then you try 3 more. It actually is enough. So how could you feel, Allison, that you're enough to make it happen? That one or two things, why don't you try it out and see how it works, right? And anytime that voice goes into your head, like, it's not enough. Gosh darn it, it's not enough. Say, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not. But I'm going to just try this for a week and give it a solid week. Let's prove your brain wrong or right or whatever. Let's let the results manifest, and then you can say that. Then that feeling that you won't be enough, it's just a feeling. It's not a truth at this point. So let's prove yourself right or wrong. You want to try it? I think it'd be awesome for you to try. Okay, I'm getting lots of questions. What do you say to yourself when you're making these daily realistic things that you're willing to do, but the weight does not change? I go back to negative thinking again about this not working. This is not a big enough change. Okay, so let's say you're saying you've got your two things. You're making your realistic plan for yourself. It feels doable, right? When I say realistic, like it's doable for you. It's easy to make it happen. Then I would, and you don't see results. Then see, is there one thing I can up level? One thing to up level. Maybe it's drinking more water. And then you see. Here's the thing. When you tell yourself the thing like it's not working, you've got to be clear, because a lot of times we do this. I hear from women all the time who say, nothing works. Okay. When you make this blanket statement, nothing works, then what you're basically doing is making everything wrong about you, the program, everything in the world. And it's BS, right? There's stuff that works for you. There's stuff that will work. So so I like to dive into that and go, okay, well, you say nothing's working. That's okay to say that, but let's really look at that. I'm sure there's something that is working. I'm sure there's something that we can up level. I'm sure there's something that you've done to see a pound go down once, right? When you go back to the negative thinking, what you're doing is you're basically saying, all these nice small changes that I'm making to improve my life don't matter. That's the problem, Erin, is I don't want you to keep going to the place of saying that you don't matter, that your effort doesn't mean anything. You know, when you start to make improvements, I want you to start recognizing those improvements. And maybe they haven't improved enough to see weight loss. So instead of going, oh, that didn't work, got to try something else, I'd rather you say, that's been a really positive effort. I'm really proud of myself for making these 2 adjustments. I'm not seeing the changes that I want yet. I know I will. And is there something I can do right now, today, to help me move the dial just a smidge up? You see the difference? One's crapping all over your brain and your efforts. The other's acknowledging that you're continuing to put effort in. You're doing amazingly well with putting some focus and energy in. And yes, you're not where you want to be. And yes, you'll keep making small adjustments. Instead of no, 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 no. Stop sign, stop sign, stop sign. I hope you all get this, that many of you keep taking yourself out of the game because you don't see this weight change on the scale. And what you're doing is you're not recognizing every single day all the little things that you're doing that's working. And if you can get more into gratitude, more into love, more into appreciation for all the things you are doing, and when you step on that scale and it's not where you want it to be, that you just simply tell yourself, okay, you don't make it mean that all of these efforts in the past are wrong. It just might mean that they're not showing up yet on the scale, that you haven't consistently done it long enough, that your body needs a little more time, or you can make one simple adjustment and keep it moving forward. I love that. Chrissy, you say I set very reasonable, achievable goals for working out 2 times a week. Last Tuesday, I started going to the gym. I've been 5 times since then. After my 2 workouts are done, I don't feel bad if nothing until next week, but my goal is moving. I love it. Instead of having these, Chrissy, working in the nursing industry, the healthcare industry, I love this. I love you really getting, and I really love seeing that in the last couple of weeks, you're really setting realistic goals for yourself. Instead of saying, I have to work out every single day, and then you miss a day and you're like, oh man, I suck. I'd rather you all set goals that are like, I want to work out twice a week. You hit those, anything else is golden. And if you're used to working out 3 times, go to say 3 times, and then anything else is golden. I got on the scale today before I could even let my head start pulling me down. I said, I don't care what it says. I'm working on it now. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. The thing with the thing with even like time is like, I don't want, like, you're eating anyway, everybody. Right? You're finding time to eat. So if you have time to eat, you have time to lose weight. Because if you're eating and if you just stop 2 bites before you end a meal, you don't have to fit this in, right? If that's your commitment, I'm just leaving a few bites on my plate every single meal. Do you think you'd have to lose weight? Yeah. So does it take any extra time? No, it actually saves you maybe a minute because you didn't have those 2 bites or 4 minutes. So the thing about time, it's just a BS excuse that you're telling yourself to keep you safe, to keep you comfortable. It's the thing you've conditioned in your mind over and over and over again. And it's okay that we do this. All of us do this. We all have areas, and especially in the area where we want to transform, we all have areas of where we've hung the hook in our brain and reconditioned it to say, I want to be safe. It's too hard. I don't have time. It's difficult. I can't do this. It won't work. All these, right? All these that you've all said. They're amazing. And we repeat them over and over until we don't even know it anymore. They're so locked into our subconscious mind that we're just like, when I had my thyroid removed, it was like, I just can't lose weight because I have my thyroid removed. BS. There's plenty of people who have had their thyroid removed and have lost weight. These are just excuses to kind of take you. It's almost like then we don't have to be responsible. Then our dreams don't have to really come true. Then we don't have to be the person who we really want to be in the world. We got to just play it safe and be really uncomfortable in our bodies. Well, that's not fun. That's not okay. So stop the hard conversation. Stop saying it's hard. In my podcast yesterday, I talked about when you say, I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to start Monday. I talked about how that's just BS too. And this week is about looking at, what are you looking at, the thoughts you're having, scanning it without judgment. What are you saying to yourself? And is it working for you to lose weight, or is it making it harder? Because all I really want you to do is wake up in the morning, have a vision for who you want to be. And if you can't see it, feel it, hear it, connect to it in whatever way you can, imagine it, pretend it, and then come up with 2 things you can do to make weight loss easy, to make it realistic, to make a difference in your life, something you'd be proud of. I like to think of it like this, like, what would my future self be proud of, be grateful for, that I do today? What would it be like? Nice job. Way to do this today, so I got you there. What would my 135-pound self be excited about? And from that vantage point, it's easier to make decisions. It's easier for me to lay in bed and listen to my husband eat chips last night and then go grab a bowl of fruit and just lay there with my little spindrift and my water and just be like, I got this. And man, that sounds good and that smells good, but you know what? He's hungry. I'm not. And I woke up this morning going, I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm pretty proud of myself for not digging into those chips. I'm pretty proud of myself for just letting that inner dialogue go bonkers and not do anything with it. Because I can feel good about myself this morning. I can feel awesome about myself. And I can wake up going, woohoo! Good for me. I didn't eat when I wasn't hungry. I didn't give myself it doesn't matter, because I matter. My dreams matter. My goals matter to me. I suppose I don't feel I have time to exercise and make better food. Lana, here's the thing. Get a head of lettuce. Or get chopped up veggies. And a thing of hummus. And there's your lunch. Get a jar of salsa. And some celery. See, here's the thing. That is you. I love that you're doing this. So thank you for being brave enough to share that. And I know how real that can feel and how that can really, that experience. But the truth is, many of us are going through the drive-through. We can grab a salad. Come on. Right? You don't have to make better food. You just have to not overeat the food you're eating and pick at it when your body doesn't need it. And if you got food somewhere, I'm assuming somehow you're getting food. Is there one level up you could make so it doesn't have to feel hard? So it doesn't have to feel challenging or difficult for you? You don't have to eat food you hate. That's not a winning solution for weight loss. That's never going to last. I do not want you doing that. But if you got food anyway that you're eating, like, here's the thing. Like, I can stick, let's just be real about it, okay? I can stick something in the microwave. I can stick a tortilla and cheese in the microwave. I can also make one chop of celery, wash it under water, and grab a jar of salsa or hummus and eat it. The time difference, the same. I'm waiting a minute or 40 seconds for the microwave to beep, or I'm cutting and that takes 45 seconds for me to cut and wash it and grab a jar. So I want you to get real with the thought. With your, if movement is hard, 80 to 90% of weight loss is what you're thinking and what you're putting in your mouth. You don't have to exercise to lose weight. You just don't. Will it add? Will it make you feel better? Will it give you endorphins? Will it make you want to keep moving and make you feel alive and good and change your body? Yes. It all helps. I've tried for, how old am I? 44 years to tell myself I didn't need to work out. There's just too many benefits not to. But I just want you to really look at your thoughts, everyone. Look at them. What are you saying? Watch it. I love you sharing this, Lana. I love it so much because it paints the picture of what we say all the time to ourselves. And then the reality of what is actually real, which is, it's not any harder to eat healthier. It's not any more, I get the expensive. Okay, I can go buy frozen pizza for $10 or $5 or $3 or $4. I can get organic celery for $2 and organic salsa in a jar for $2. Let's be real about what we're talking about. They're just excuses to keep us safe, to keep us where we are, to keep us from really having the life and being the person we want to be. That's why, for you Inner Circle members, that is why I'm having you hunker down so much this month on just letting your thoughts play out, looking at your thoughts. Because, Lana, I'm so glad you're in this Inner Circle so we can keep looking at this. Okay? Because these thoughts are the things that are keeping you from losing weight. Because you think it's hard, or you think eating healthy is hard, or you think you're making bad choices. If you keep thinking you're making bad choices, guess what you're going to do? You're going to eat to numb that voice in your head. You're right, Chrissy. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That is how the brain actually really works. Donna, you say, every time I don't give in, I feel great about myself. Yeah. And so what if this week you starred every time you didn't give in? And you didn't even look at the times that you gave in to your craving, but you looked at and you starred every time on your calendar, every time you actually didn't give in, and looked at that instead of looking at, oh, I gave in this once this week or this 5th time this week. Yeah, but you don't recognize the 20 other times that you didn't give in. I really want you focusing on what's working and how you're amazing and how you're powerful and what you're doing that's right versus only looking at what you did wrong. It's not fair to your mind to do that. And it really, in this area of weight loss where there might be struggle, where it might have been a challenge for all this time, we don't want to give you more ammunition for not being amazing. I want you to see where you are being amazing. That's why my inner circle members write 3 to 5 things down at night that they're proud of doing. Why have them recognize it? Because if you don't recognize it, you don't see where you're going and how far you've come. It was one of the things that I missed, and I tell you guys this all the time, especially my inner circle members. One of the things I wish I would have done better was write out my thinking and what I did more to lose weight. Like I wish I would have, I know what I did to lose weight, but I wish I would have written down more my inner thoughts, feelings, pains, how I was, just the inner game more, because that would have been really helpful, where I could have seen like, woo! But I didn't do that. I just know it in here, and I got to keep repeating it. Tam, you're so fun. Laura, I've gotten really good at saying no thanks when my husband snacks at night and I know I'm not hungry. That's huge win. Laura, huge win. Awesome. And share with us down below, share in the comments, how's that helped you? What's the result of that? That one item, that's what I'm talking about, you guys. One item. If you just did that transforms your body. If you say kitchen closed, it transforms things and gets you to a certain spot. And then your body kind of gets used to that, right? Because it's your new way of being. And if you're still not at the body you want, then you go, okay, what's another thing? What's another area that I can take action on to keep moving the dial down on my weight? And then you take action there. And you go, okay, you know what? I'm noticing at dinner I'm overeating. So I want to come up with the strategy to help myself stop sooner. And the strategy I'm going to use, I think I'm just going to use a strategy where I leave 5 bites on my plate every night, or 3 bites or 2 bites, or I'll start with 1 bite. And then if I do this is what I love. I love gamifying things. I'm going to leave 1 bite. If I leave 1 bite, then the next day I'm going to leave 2 bites. If I can't leave 2 bites, I'm going to go to 1 bite again. If I do 2 bites, I'm going to leave 3 bites. And just play until you find that spot that feels really good. Then you've incorporated not eating at night, laying with your husband in bed or in front of the couch, and stopping dinner sooner. 2 things. Are you going to experience weight loss? Yeah. And then you keep going. Lanny said, in fact, last night I did the right thing and made exactly what I wanted. Yep, that's right, Chrissy. 80 to 85% of your weight loss will come from what you eat and how much you're eating. Working out definitely helps. It makes you feel good, but I don't want people working out to lose weight. If you want to tone up, awesome. You want to feel more energetic, awesome. It's not for losing weight. You have other things going on in your head that needs to be addressed. That's where you start with weight loss. That's where you start looking at, why am I overeating? What's going on? What am I doing during the day that's not supporting me? What am I thinking that's not supporting me? And you start little by little making a plan. I just gave you a plan. I just gave you the plan. Know your vision. If you haven't taken the free course, know what your vision is. Know what you want. Because not knowing what you want certainly isn't going to help you get there. Right? So that's like, we got to get you clear. Then activate it every morning. Come up with 1 to 2 things you can do. That's easy, realistic, that's fun, that'll make things work for you. one thing I really don't, one thing I really got from Marna is don't settle. No, no, don't settle. So I'm mostly taking the time to get myself the nice fizzy water with ice and lemon, which I actually love. Good. Why settle? Why? See, Laura, so by doing that, by doing what you shared with like not giving into late night, your clothes are fitting better. Right? Now, here's the thing about that. I bet, Laura, there were moments when your husband was eating, just like I was saying, where your little voice inside your head is screaming to you that it wants it. It's going bonkers. It's going wild. It's saying, oh, I want it. 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 But then here's the thing. When you start reinforcing that this is your way of being, you're like, okay, I just got to get through that first night. Just let me get through tonight, and I'm going to feel amazing tomorrow. Okay, you get through that night. Is it a little bit easier the next night? Yeah, a little bit, because you've like, oh, I just did it once. And then it gets easier and easier. And then all of a sudden, there's one night where you've had a bad freaking day. You want to eat your face off, but you're not hungry, and your husband's sitting there eating his face off, and you're like, some things either happen. You either dive into that food because it's automatic reaction still. You don't have the, you haven't rewired your brain enough. Or you go, God, I really want that, but I'm not going to. Either way, you just keep the next day, you get good sleep and you come right back to that action. Right back to it. I talked yesterday about mistakes in my podcast too. Like, things are going to happen. Don't expect every single night to be magic and unicorns and fairies and ease. There's going to be a moment where you just had a crap day. Your husband's eating his face off next to you and you want to dive into a bowl with him. And you might. The worst thing you can do is then go, oh, I should start a diet. Why? Just recommit to that way of being. It was one time. You had a bad day. Learn from it. Understand what went wrong. And then let's get you back going. It can feel difficult to have the conversation in your head, to have the words in your head screaming in your brain to go eat something. But I can tell you, it won't last hours. It will last minutes. And you've all done something hard. You've all done something difficult in your life. If you've raised a kid, you know the temper tantrum. And you know that as they get older, as they get practice of dealing and being more mature, it gets easier and better. Same with your brain. As your brain gets more mature with you being thinner, lighter, and not giving into everything, it gets more mature. It gets easier. That's the great news. All of this gets easier. So the big question I have for you, are you willing to find 1 to 2 things today to help you lose weight? Are you willing to sit with that discomfort for a moment or 2 or 5 or 10 to get down to your ideal weight? I mean, clearly the choice is yours, but I'd love to see you say yes. I hope each of you are going, yes, 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 yes. Stop making it overly complicated. There will be moments you'll have to sit there when your body's not hungry, or you might want to sit there. I shouldn't say have to. You don't have to. But I wanted to sit there. I want to go through the discomfort to be the person I want to be. It's worth it to me. Is it worth it to you? So I hope you might want to listen to this again. I've got some pretty powerful questions that I want you to look at and think about. There's some pretty amazing women who are making some things really happen that I get to be part of and connected with, whether it's the inner circle, whether it's their 30-day challenge, whether they're my private clients. I'm pretty lucky that I get to be with amazing women who you guys are just needing little tweaks, and a little more love. And those of you who are new to me or just following me, I just want to welcome you with big open arms and just let you know I am so glad you're here. I'm so glad I get the opportunity today to hopefully inspire you to take action. And not from a place of fear, not from a pain place, but from a place of like, I'm going to do this in a realistic way. And I'm going to do this in a way where I'm going to just do it little by little. And I will get there. And maybe I don't believe that I can get there. Maybe I'm not sure. But there's a little glimmer of hope. And I'm willing to follow that little glimmer. I'm willing to just know what it is that I want and take 1 to 2 actions today to move myself towards that. And if they didn't work, I'm not going to take myself out of the game. I'm going to just recommit. If I would have eaten my face off last night with my husband, I just recommit. Just gone like, damn, I wish I would have done that better. And then I would just recommit. I'm not going to say to myself, you suck, you're a loser, you're never going to get this right, you fatty. I'm not going to do that. What benefit is that? I may look at like, wow, maybe I need to have a boundary with my husband. Maybe I need to tell him like, that was really hard. And so enjoy the hell out of those chips. But you know what? Let's have you do that in the kitchen or downstairs. Don't do it with me. It was too tempting for me. And I don't want to eat. I wasn't hungry. Okay. I would look at it if I gave in. But I would also, I don't want to take myself out of the game because I know that that's something I need to work out. Like, I'm not going to go on it would be silly for me to be like, okay, let's try a diet. No, the real issue is I'm giving in to eating when I'm not hungry at night. That's my issue. A diet that puts me on a plan isn't going to address my inner conversation in my head that when my husband's eating, I want it too. That's the conversation I need to have with myself. When my kids are eating, went to Kona Ice yesterday. We got Kona Ice and I was like, I said to them, I wasn't in the mood. I wasn't hungry for it. I didn't want it. I was like, tell me what you want me to get and we'll freeze it. And you guys can have it later. Or I'll have a bite maybe. I had a bite. That was enough. But I also had half a donut for breakfast this morning too. My sister made donuts and we forgot to eat them last night. And I totally forgot. And this morning I was like, oh my gosh, look at these. I forgot it. So I had half a donut today with my turkey sausage because I was hungry. And some of you know I don't have breakfast some mornings because I'm not hungry. I'm listening to my body. I don't say no to donuts. I said, wow, thanks. Okay? I'm glad you love this session, Tim. Imagine thinking, I can't wait till this happens instead of, I don't know if I can. Oh, I love that. I love the verbiage. This is good verbiage. Chrissy, great job. Like, instead of saying, I can't wait till this happens, instead say, yeah, I can't wait till this happens instead of, I don't know if I can. I love that. I love that. I'm so triggered by the visual. Okay, Allison, stop telling yourself that. How could you not be? I mean, I get that you are. Hell yeah. We all are, because do you know that we get something like over 200 images every single day to eat? Now, here's the amazing news, everyone. You aren't eating 200 times. So you're getting in front of it like 195 times. You're rock stars. You're making that happen. There's just a few times that we got to just tweak it so it continues to happen for you. We get that many images between driving and seeing a McDonald's or seeing all restaurants or watching TV and seeing movies with food or watching somebody eat or hearing somebody talk about food. We get, well, this is all visual, but we get all these images. We're tempted over 200 times. And think about how great you're doing every single day with not giving into 200 times of eating. You're pretty awesome. Like, think about how awesome that is. So you got this. You've got this, Allison. You've got this. All you have to do is say, and know that, like, yeah, it triggers me when I see food. So you know what? So this would be, if my husband did that and it really triggered me, it would be a conversation. Like, sweetie, I love you, but you're triggering the hell out of me. Or the bigger conversation is this. Like, if I'm going to have to see my kids eat food when my body's not hungry and deal with it. I'm going to have to see my husband eat food when he's hungry and I'm not and deal with it. So the strategy isn't have them all leave, right? It's not their problem, it's my problem. So the long-term strategy, I'm just thinking about you, Allison, like the long-term strategy is then looking at, okay, they're going to be eating. So what am I going to do with this? I got to watch my brain. I got to check in and know if I'm hungry, and I'm going to watch the conversation in my brain. Think about all the naturally thin people, and I used to work a lot at I used to write and stuff, going to Starbucks all the time. And I would watch moms sit there and their kids would eat and they wouldn't eat a thing. They wouldn't drink a thing. And why is that? Not hungry. Don't want it. Committed to being lighter, leaner, healthier, thinner, more vibrant. So it's a practice. And every time you do it, Allison, every time you have a visual thing and you catch it and you're like, I didn't give it to that. Celebrate the hell out of yourself. You rocked it, girl. Like, that's awesome every time we see something and we don't eat. It's pretty awesome. Chrissy, you said, after I had bariatric surgery, I mentally could not handle people eating around me. Now I can't expect the world in it. Yeah. I mean, it's when we actually look at the truth of this, like, okay, if I'm going to put boundaries on everything, it means that I'm going to be eating by myself and nobody around me. That's probably not going to work real well in my life. So what do I need to think? What do I need to feel? How do I need to show up in a way that's the most powerful way so I can watch my kids eat and feel like a rock star, healthy lady? How can I sit there and have my husband eat his face off and feel like, all right, you go. I know you're hungry. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. Like, really have love for, like, enjoy that. I know you're hungry. I hope you enjoy that. Now, I will tell you, when I am PMSy and he eats next to me and I hear that crunching, I want to punch him in the face. And sometimes I do tell him, can you, I got to go somewhere. I either need to leave or you need to leave. Like, I cannot hear you crunch. When I'm PMSy, that will throw me over the top. It's not that I want to join in with him. It's that, well, sometimes I do. I sometimes do want to join in, but it's more, my senses, this is for all of us, like our nerve endings are all like this when we are PMSy. For those of us who still get our periods, like, it's like this. Everything's like this. And so if he's crunching or if he's snoring too or something, if it's too loud, I'm like super sensitive to auditory stimulation. And so that is something I'm aware of, and it's something we just kind of know. Probably 1 week out of the month, you go somewhere else, bud, because I'm going to punch you. It drives me crazy. When others are eating, I have learned to ask myself, do I really want that? I love it. It gives me a chance to be honest with myself and choose. What I love about that, Jill, is it puts the power inside of you. The more powerful you feel, the more powerful you all feel about what it is that you're doing for your body and for your weight. And the more you feel you have choice over it, the more you're going to want to keep doing, the more weight loss you're going to have, the better results. Excellent. I love that. That's fantastic. Great. Thanks for sharing that. Boom. Knuckles to you, Allison. Got my BF pizza last night. I ate grilled chicken and veggie bowl. Awesome. Awesome. When I'm PMS, I want chocolate. I found some Lily's chocolate. Lily's is a great chocolate. Great, great chocolate. I love it, Chrissy. I'm right there with you. I love it. You're strengthening your beliefs every time you commit to not eating tempting foods. Yes, practice leads to strong new behavior. You got it. You got it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to have two things this morning or this afternoon, or for those of you who will listen to it on the podcast or listen to the replay. I want you to have two things that are realistic that you're putting focus on this week. Two. If it's more than two, pick just two. Get great at them and then move to another. And then move to another and move to another. Okay? I don't like to say practice makes perfection, but practice makes strengthening, because I don't believe in perfection, but practice makes accomplishments. It helps us meet our goals. Practice creates meeting our goals. Like, we keep practicing this, we meet our goals, right? Change our mindset, we meet our goals. Practice a guitar, we meet our goals of learning a song. Practice singing, my daughter's a singer. Practice singing, she gets better at her instrument of her voice. Practice learning how to run a business, I get better at it, maybe, right? Practice speaking. And, I tell you all this, it's the same thing. Like, I was terrified to do Facebook Lives. I was terrified. I always relied on my notes. I always had these as something to go off of. So if I did an audio, if I did everything by phone, I could read things and be safe. And then all of a sudden I started doing Facebook Lives, and I started doing and showing more my face, and all of a sudden people were like, this is my favorite part, you, seeing you, connecting with you. And I was like, oh, really? But in my head all this time, I've been like, I suck at it. I'm not going to be good at it. I'm going to be a failure in this way. I will embarrass myself. How many of you are doing that all the time? I'm embarrassing myself, or I'm going to be embarrassed, or what will other people think? That's what I was doing. I was worried that I was just going to sound like a fool. And even if I do now, I don't care. I have the confidence now to just keep going and to do these. I have the confidence, think about it. I'm on like podcast number 56, I think. And just October, I think, is when I started. I don't know when, somewhere around that. Like the first one. I did a few, and I got one bad comment. Someone was like, you're boring. Right? I get it. I was too long-winded. And you might still think I am. But the point is, I'm just going to get better. And I'm going to get better, and I'm going to get better, and I'm going to get better for you all. And I'm going to get better for myself. And so I just want you to think about this the same exact way as weight loss. Strengthen your muscle of your mind and of your actions and of your words, and you will get better for yourself. And as you get better for yourself, your weight will drop. Okay? So, sending you all such big love, big hugs. I'm so happy to have you here. Tam, I think you're awesome. I love having you. I'm so glad you joined the Inner Circle. Love having you. Thank you so much, everybody. Big hugs to all of you, and I will see all of you next week. All right, bye.